Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andMe. Welcome to a new day and to a new day of your life. I hope that you're doing okay. It's a very warm, sunny day here, but wherever you are in the world, I hope that you're doing all right and that you're fine. I wanted to thank the people that are joining us here for the first time. We've got lots of new women joining us, and I'm always welcoming you. Get to know each other a little bit. Leave comments in the sections below the articles and on our website, 60andme.com. Also, we have a Facebook page. We have a Patreon community. This is turning out to be a very interesting community. It's for people who are able to afford a $3 a month donation or whatever you can afford to get exclusive videos from me and a smaller community where we actually talk to each other in a more personal way. It's about 700 people right now, and we're just getting to know each other. It's off the Facebook grid, so you can just talk a little bit more openly. And as I said, I post exclusive videos of my travels, of just things that are on my mind, and we're on a journey together. And I really appreciate the support that we get through that community. But it's Patreon, patreon.com/60andme, and of course the website, as I mentioned, and YouTube. We also, by the way, I want to remind you of a couple of things that have happened in the last few months that might be of interest to you. One is that we have just decided to release all of our videos on yoga, all of our best-selling yoga videos on YouTube, free of charge. Now, if you want to buy a DVD, you can do that, but you can access gentle yoga, chair yoga, and also yoga flows. And they're all available now. If you go up to 60andme.com, you'll find all the yoga videos and the link to each one. And they're arranged by body section, so the joints, back, shoulders, and you can then do the general flow video as well. But anyway, check it out. It's a really wonderful series. Kat Kabir is our teacher. She was recorded in Bali a few years ago, and I think you'll really find these refreshing and helpful yoga videos. And of course, on our website, we also have all kinds of articles every day. And we have a games section, which is super popular, free of charge. You can play games of all kinds. And those are just some ideas for things that we have going on in 60andMe to enhance your experience with us. We know that we talk about topics that are serious and, things that are on our minds. We also talk about fashion and beauty, all kinds of fun stuff, and we try to keep it a nice balance between, what's important, financial security, well-being, nutrition, along with the things that are more enjoyable and pleasurable and fun. So every day I go through my little cup of tea that I'm drinking, and this is Chinese jasmine. And I must admit, I've got a new set of dishes to play with here. I think I've mentioned to you that I just moved into another apartment, and I'm house sitting for a period of time, and I'm getting to use some of the amazing things here. This lady, friend of ours, it's family member, has got, she's from Russia, and so she's got all these dishes that are from Russia. Look at this saucer. Can you see? It is unbelievable. And I'll show you the mug. It's just so beautiful. I've got my Chinese tea in my Russian mug. Look at that. It's just exquisite. And it says on the bottom, St. Petersburg, Imperial China, made in St. Petersburg in Russia. So I'm going to be having fun exploring new cups and mugs here, but that's my tea for the day, and I hope you've got something too to enjoy, because we're going to talk about something fun, about an article written by one of our bloggers, Joy Harmon, and she writes about how solo trips can be fun at any age. This is road trips. Now, I don't drive anymore because I live in Switzerland and our public transport system here is so good. I just don't even have a need for a car. I can get anywhere that I need by walking or by or bus or train or fly. But a lot of people in the States, particularly in Canada, where you've got big distances, you can't live without a car. And of course, we have to make a decision sometimes. Do I drive? Do I take a train? Do I fly? But sometimes, well, the practicality of flying is that it's just a little bit of a hassle now these days. And if it's a short trip, you might as well drive 3 hours than take a flight that's you're going to be in the airport and then on the air, and it's 4 hours. There's no saving. So sometimes a road trip to get to a family member, or a reunion, or a birthday, or just to visit can actually be quicker if you take a road trip. And then some people are loving to take long road trips. 12 hours, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks, a month, and just getting in the car and going. Now, there's obviously all kinds of benefits. You can stop when you like, you can take your own food, you can sing out loud and nobody will, you won't bother anybody. You can just explore. You're on the road and you can just see a sign that says, to the world's biggest something, or the world's most interesting this. And you can just go off and take an extra few hours and explore something that you didn't even know was there. So I think that's one of the many benefits of doing a road trip. But of course, as many of you and myself who have done long road trips know, this is the time too where you go deep. Where you go deep inside you and you actually can start thinking about decisions, situations, transitions in your life. Road trips are that kind of time of just you in the car and just the road, the open road. So that's all the kind of different collage of possibilities that you might find of value. But one thing that I think is cool, and by the way, I've done some road trips. I lived in the States for 20 some years in Seattle. And so I actually have done cross-country trips. I've done trips down the coast, down Route 66, down to California. I've traveled up to Vancouver. So I've done a lot of road trips too. And one of the things I personally always love is meeting people. People that are on the road are just fun people. They're just explorers. They're just doing cool things and trying life on the edge. Some of them are committed to into a lifestyle of road trips. This is what they do. Sometimes in retirement, a lot of couples particularly buy a van or RV and just travel. That's what they've decided to do. So the people that I have met on trips have always been fun. And we talk about this, like, women of a certain age are always, well, women in general, I think, but older women particularly can chat. We just can meet friends in the most bizarre ways and circumstances. You go into a little roadside cafe and you sit down and there's someone else there. You start chatting. Where are you going? Where do you live? What's your story? And before you know it, you've got a name and a phone number and an email, and you just meet people and you have conversations with people who are outside your normal world. Bikers, homeless people that are on the road, like just nomads, street artists, musicians, just people who are retired, people that are on a journey. They're overcoming something. They've had something happen to them. They're dealing with something. And these are people that are fascinating. This is life. And I think road trips are like a magnifying glass on that. And Joy does a really good job in this article, by the way. It's called How Solo Road Trips Can Be Fun at Any Age. It's on our website. Excuse me. She actually really, goes into a bit more detail of the value of a trip. She highlights some important things to remember, which is, of course, keep it safe. Don't drive beyond the number of hours that you can, do without getting too tired. If you don't have, you're not going to have good phone service in lots of parts of the country, Canada, US, and in Europe. So don't travel at night, in my opinion, late at night, because you won't have cell phone service in most places. And if you're on a long stretch of roads, like you say, you've got 400 miles to go and you think, oh, I'll just do it. I'll just go 200 miles tonight. Just be careful, because if your car breaks down or something happens, you won't have a phone service unless you've got satellite or you've got some special setting or fitting in your car. Map your route on a real map, as opposed to just depending on GPS. Same reason. If you're traveling along and your GPS fails you or you lose connection, it's much better to know what was the road you were supposed to turn right on, from a paper road map. I love maps. I love maps anyway. I don't think I've ever told you this. I actually used to manage a bookstore in London called Stanford's International Map Centre. And this was way back in the day. This was 83, 80, 82, 83. And this was when it was like one of the few travel stores in London. So I managed it for a couple of years. But anyway, I digress, because we sold maps. And that's what I really loved about that store, is the maps we could get towns plans of Bogota or weird and wonderful places. So the other thing to do is to be prepared for things that might happen. First aid kit, of course, lots of water, your backup for your phone, maps, as I've mentioned, extra food, some protein things. I mentioned water, maybe a blanket, I said first aid, but those are the things. And maybe you can help me here. What are things you've been on the road trips recently? What did you take with you? Let's do that. Accommodation, best to always book in advance if you can, because people are, you don't want to be showing up and seeing motel full. So always do that. And in remote areas, you'd actually be quite surprised at the setup in the national parks. A lot of people actually work in the national parks, but I remember we did a road trip to the Southwest, dear friend, and just amazing memories. And we just went to the North Rim of the Grand Canyon, and there was like in the middle of nowhere, a little toilet, and it was beautifully set up. Be careful about food, because it can get expensive as you go along. So pack the stuff that you love and just make it an adventure. Read this article, because I think that I've gone over a bit here because I love the topic and it's fascinating to me. But make sure that you take advantage of the adventure. You see a sign that says, there's a show going on or some special thing. Stay there a night. Just go find a place to stay if you can, and take in that event. Make serendipity part of the trip. So, do you like to take road trips? I'd love to know about a road trip that you've taken that you really loved. Tell us below in the section below what you did, where you went. Stay curious, stay interesting, and that's how we get through this amazing time of our lives. Again, thanks for being here, everyone. I hope that if you're on the road, have fun, be safe, and let us know what your favorite solo road trip experience was. Okay, so take good care. We'll talk again very soon. Bye-bye for now.